Hi everyone! In this video, we will discuss the rules on significant figures and rounding off numbers. By the end of this discussion, you should be able to first express measurements and results of calculations with the proper number of significant figures and then to round off numbers properly. Every measurement carries some uncertainty, and significant figures are how we express that uncertainty. So what are significant figures? They are meaningful digits in a measured or calculated quantity. For example, if you weigh a same sample on two different instruments and you get two different readings, not because the sample changed, but because each instrument has different resolution. So a kitchen grade balance might read 0.25 grams with 2 SF, while an analytical balance can display up to 4 decimal places or 0.2500 grams with 4 significant figures. Either way, the last digit shown is always understood to be the uncertain. Meanwhile, scientific notation writes any number as big N times 10 raised to the small n, where big N is always between 1 and 10 in absolute value, and small n is some integer. The sign of small n tracks which direction you moved the decimal point to get there. So if you move it to the left to shrink a large number down to that n range, the n will have positive value. Meanwhile, if you move it to the right to grow a small number up to the range, n comes out as negative value. So here are some examples, and let's write the scientific notation of the following numbers. So for the first one, it's a very small number. So we have 0.000005152. So we need to move the decimal point to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's stop at this point since this is the first non-zero digit. So since we moved the decimal place to the right and we moved it 6 times, that will be 5.152 times 10 raised to negative 6. Again, it's negative 6 since we move it to the right. For number 2, it's 600,003. So this is a very large number, and we can rewrite it as 600,003.0. So we can be guided. And we can move the decimal point to the left. So by doing that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the scientific notation will be 6.00003 times 10 raised to 5. So notice the small n here is positive 5 since we moved the decimal point to the left. So doing that for number 3, 5561.74, let's move the decimal point 1, 2, 3. So that will be 5.56174 times 10 raised to 3. And lastly, for number 4, 0.08206, let's move the decimal point to the right. 1, 2. And that will be 8.206 times 10 raised to negative 2 in scientific notation. Now, for the rules on significant figures, always remember that non-zero digits are always significant. And we have different types of zeros, and here are the following rules. First, trailing zeros. These are any final zero that appears after a decimal point, and they are always significant because writing it at all is a deliberate statement of precision. So for example, 1.00 grams, we have 3 significant figures for that. Since the 0.00 there, they are trailing zeros. Second, captive zeros. Any zero sandwiched between two non-zero digits, they are always significant since it's clearly part of the measured value. So for example, 101 ml, the zero there is significant, and the following digits have 3 significant figures. Number 3, leading zeros. Any zero that appears before the decimal point or immediately after it while still leading up to the first non-zero digit is not significant. It's just a placeholder, not measured precision. So for example, 0.100 grams has three significant figures since, as we have discussed earlier, trailing zeros are significant. But 0.00100 grams is also or has also three significant figures since those extra leading zeros are just holding the decimal place. And number 4, final zeros without a decimal point depend on what's being counted. If the unit is something measurable like mass or length, trailing zeros are treated as significant. So for example, 10 grams. Gram is a unit of mass. So 10 grams has two significant figures. But if you're counting something exact, like for example 10 people, that value effectively has infinite significant figures since there's no uncertainty in a head count. We have two categories to have infinite number of significant figures. First, exact numbers are definitional counts, not measurements. So for example, there are 3 feet in a yard, since it's a definition that you have, for every 1 yard, you have 3 feet. 3 there will have infinite number of significant figures. So the ones that we will use for unit conversions, they are not considered in assigning significant figures. Also, physical constants are fixed values. So for example, Avogadro's number or the speed of light in a vacuum, and as well as the molar mass that is found in the periodic table, they have fixed values, and since those are also treated as constants, they will have infinite number of significant figures. Let's consider the following examples and let's determine how many significant figures are present. Number 1, 0.0040 moles. So in here, you have the presence of leading zero, and leading zeros are not significant, while trailing zero here is significant. Therefore, you only have 2 SF. And then next, 0.30700, the leading zero here is not significant, then the rest are significant, so you have 5 SF. Number 3, this is a measured quantity, 45.030 grams, so all of them are significant, therefore 5 SF. Number 4, R is equal to 8.3145 joules per mole Kelvin. So R is a gas constant and therefore it has infinite number of significant figures. Number 5, you have 500 chocolate bars. This is a countable noun and therefore it also has infinite number of significant figures. Number 6, 2,000 kilometers. So this is a measured quantity since it's in kilometers. So therefore, all of the digits are significant and you have 4 SF. And then number 7, 1.002 times 10 raised to negative 4 amperes. Amperes is a measurement of current and therefore, all of the digits are significant. So you have 4 SF. Number 8, G is a constant and therefore you have infinite number of SF. So next, 15566 light years. This is a measured quantity. Therefore, all of the digits are significant and you have 5 SF. And last example, 220.00 volts. So this is a measured quantity and therefore you have 5 SF. For the rules for rounding off, if the digit being dropped is less than 5, the remaining digits stay as they are. And if it's greater than 5, the last digit bumps up by 1. So for example, let's express the following numbers in two significant figures. So number 1, 2.3155 grams. If we want to express it into SF, we will keep 2.3 and then let's look at the next digit. 1, which is less than 5. So it will be 2.3 grams in terms of two significant figures. Next, if 0.4286 ml, we want to express it into SF, we will keep 0.42 and looking at the next digit, 8, this is greater than 5. So we will round up to 0.43 ml. Next, let's consider the mathematical operations. You have different rules for addition and subtraction, as well as multiplication and division. So for addition and subtraction, look at decimal places, not significant figures. For example, 2.33 minus 3.67 plus 7.5423 minus 1.119, the final answer will be 5.0833. But since you have 2.33 and 3.67 with only 2 decimal places, the final answer should be rounded off to 5.08, which has 2 decimal places. But for multiplication and division, switch to counting the significant figures instead. So for example, in this operation, 3.70 times 5.5 divided by 2.558, the final answer is 7.9554, unrounded. But since you have 5.5, which has only 2 significant figures, the answer rounds off to 8.0, which has 2 significant figures. Logs and antilogs have their own rule. You have 2 parts in the logarithm, the argument, which is the whole number part, and the mantissa, which is the decimal part. So for a logarithm, the number of significant figures in the argument should match the number of decimal places in the mantissa. So for example, if we get the log of 553.2, you have 4 significant figures in the argument, and calculating the logarithm of this number, it will become this, 2.74288271. And if we want to express it in proper SF, since you have 4 SF in the argument, the final answer will have 4 decimal places in mantissa. That's why we will express it as 2.7429. And then next, antilogarithm has the same rule but in reverse. So the number of decimal places in the argument becomes the number of significant figures in the answer. So the antilog of 2.718, so in here you have 3 decimal places. It gives 522.396189, and it's rounded up to 3 significant figures. So that will be 522. So this rule will be used in pH calculations since pH is equal to negative log ng hydronium ion concentration. When a single expression mixes several operations, go back on the same order of operations that you already know. This is the PEMDAS rule. So you have parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication or division, followed by addition or subtraction. One important practical note, you should avoid rounding off any intermediate result along the way. So, only apply your final sig-fig rounding once you reach the very last step. Otherwise, you'll have rounding off error. So, for example, we have the following operations. So, 6.199 divided by 3.2 minus 4.790 times 8.9990. So working through this example, the grouping is 3.2 minus 4.790 first. So the answer there will be 1.59. And then the division and multiplication carry through unrounded, and the final answer is this, negative 35.0847805. So then we do round off, and since the least number of SF will be coming from 3.2, which has 2 significant figures, that limits our final answer to negative 35. Now, lastly, for averaging measurements, averaging comes up whenever you combine successive measurements or replicate trials. So the rule is also the same for addition and subtraction. If the individual measurements have different numbers of decimal places, the average will take on the SF of the value which has lowest number of decimal place. So for example, you have the following volumes: 9.88, 9.86, 9.874 ml. So getting the average, you have this value unrounded. But if we want to express it in correct number of significant figures, since you have a measurement of 9.88 and 9.86 with two decimal places, the final answer will also have two decimal places, which is 9.87 ml.